Today I'm reviewing K-pop songs. I know it's random, but what can I say? I'm just a random person. And also my hair is really wet because I just finished bathing and it was a very long and satisfying bath. So let's begin. The first song, Jikjin by Treasure. This is the #1 trending song in my country right now.
잡힐 듯 잡히지 않는 신기루 같아 넌 월화수목금토일 네 생각에 난 미쳐가 I'm addicted to your love I'm on fire 불붙은 네 감정 멈출 순 없어 깊게 빠져 천천히 네 안에 잠기고 싶어 이건 중독이야 I just can't get enough 난 너를 향해 답을 전부 all in 해요 나 지금
I'm so sick of that kind of singing in the song. Like a staccato singing. I just hate that kind of singing. And a lot of times they are not done well at all and it just seems so out of place and so try hard. I just hate that. I hope that trend goes away. And also most of the electrical arrangements in the background here sound super generic. They sound like something from the 2000s. Even though we're 20 years past that already. Let's just, maybe the chorus is gonna be better. Let's just listen to the chorus first. Okay, I assume this is the bridge. The drums are way too loud. Okay, that's enough. The chorus is super repetitive. It's that same melody, same line, same vibe. And I guess some people can accept that, but I got a feeling like if I listen to this song 10 times, it's going to be super repetitive and I'm gonna get sick of it really fast. And that melody, right after they sing the chorus, it sounds so bad. It's like some kind of distortion to the voice. It's like a ooh thing. It just doesn't work. That ooh thing doesn't work at all. But I can understand why this is #1 trending because it's super catchy. Even though I find it lazy and repetitive, you know it's still catchy. So that's the only good thing I can say about this song. Let's just move on to the next one. 0.0. I think it's kind of an emoji by NMIXX. There's probably some correct way to pronounce that, but I don't know how. Their rapping is trying way too hard. They're trying way too hard and it comes off as so obvious. Wait, there was the chorus? It sounded exactly like the verse. It was like the tone of it. It sounds exactly like the verse. There's no discernible quality that sets both these things apart. It sounds the same. Okay, this part should have been the entire song. I don't know what happened. Like, the whole song changed somehow. The whole tone is different now. And this should have been the entire song because this part, I only heard like 3 seconds of it, but it's already so much better than that last part. Okay, that part was good. This part of the song should have been the entire song. I stand by what I said. It's so much better. And finally, oh my god, that is the most abrupt tonal shift I have ever heard in any song. It just went from being this happy, joyful party song and instantly into a hip-hop song. There's no segue, there's no build-up or any kind of indication. It just changes. But I have to give this song some credit. At least it's trying something different. At least it's risky, it's bold, and I still don't like it. And I think that it's meant to show some diversity in the band, but it only ended up showing that the band could only do one style. But at least they are trying, and I think the fact that they are trying makes them have more potential. Next up, Mother Nature by IU and Kang Seung-won. Okay, I have to pause now because that's fantastic singing. It's just 3 words and it's fantastic singing already. And I'm already pretty familiar with IU's singing style, so it's just nice to see her doing her thing again. Okay, so far the song has the atmosphere of like a Disney princess song, and I wasn't expecting that at all, but yeah, the strings sound absolutely beautiful alongside IU's voice and the acoustic guitars, and it sounds really cinematic, and it sounds like it's telling a story here, and IU seems to be the main character of it, and I like just the absence of bass or drum in this song because it makes the song so much floatier and so much more fantasy, and I like that. Okay, that's some really good singing by IU, but she's doing something a little bit different. Normally her songs are pretty soft and delicate, but this song requires her to use her higher register voice a little bit more, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. But the production here is really beautiful, but can sometimes be a little bit overbearing, like it's kind of distracting and kind of diverting your attention away from IU's voice. So maybe the production can be toned down a little bit, but aside from that, I think this is one of my favorite songs of this year so far. It's pretty amazing. Next up, Run to You by Stacy, but it's not the Stacy you know, the Y and the C is upside down. It's actually a pretty clever name. That's a really good beat. This song has great groove, great catchy riff, and I like the melody of it. All of the band members have very distinct voices. It's actually pretty good in a more traditional K-pop sense, because this is more like a traditional kind of electro-pop, dance pop song that K-pop loves. But this song does it really well, so I don't really mind that it's a little bit more traditional. And yeah, I don't really have any big problems with it. I think the bridge section is a little bit kind of not as good as the other parts. The bridge isn't really on par with the verse and the chorus, so it's kind of stuck in the middle of them. But overall it's pretty good, and I don't really have anything much to say. Or maybe I have something to say. You know, the rapper in this band looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, we use some pretty good sound effects here, even before the song begins. And it's a pretty good opening to a song. Okay, I know I just said I like those sound effects, but before a ballad, please don't add that stupid clock ticking sound that's in every single ballad. It doesn't make the song any sadder just because there's a sound of a clock ticking. I don't know why they keep doing that. Okay, this song sounds super generic. This has to be the most generic song that in this whole list. It sounds like every single song ever, but you combine all of them and it becomes this song. There's some good lyricism here, I guess. Some of the lyrics are pretty clever, the way they use that wordplay to reference some of the songs from BTOB's past, but those few moments of clever lyrics aren't gonna make this song instantly great. It's still a super generic song. Next up, INVU by Taeyeon. I feel super smart for getting that title, and I'm super happy about that. The production quality here is already so much cleaner than a lot of other tracks that I've heard. it really shows that Taeyeon is indeed an experienced musician. After so many years doing this music thing, you know, with SNSD and with her whole solo career, I mean, she really has a lot of experience under her belt, and this really shows. She sounds super sexy and confident, and she has a deeper voice than a lot of other K-pop singers. But I like that she has that deeper voice. It really sets her apart and gives her a completely different feel. Okay, every part of that song was great. The production, the singing, just everything up until that chorus, because that is just a super generic K-pop chorus. Those electronic beats and the whole dance rhythm, everything about it is super generic. And this is a song that absolutely does not need a dance break. But apart from that, I think that Taeyeon fans have something to be happy about. This is a pretty okay song. Oh, I forgot to introduce this song. This is Satellite by Suzy, Bae Suzy, a former member of Miss A and the nation's first love. And she's doing guitars now, apparently. You know, as the nation's first love, Suzy always had the image of being like a total sweetheart. But this song sounds super mature and really raw. And it doesn't sound like your typical sweet and happy kind of K-pop song. And it sounds actually more like 90s alternative songs. It really sounds like the 90s, and the prominence of guitars and drums in the song also sounds very unusual because most K-pop songs favor electronics a little bit more.
I just wanna play you once you go that far, you know I was.
Okay, that whole segue between the spoken word section and the singing section, the whole segue between those two parts sounds super clean and seamless. And also, I'm just happy that somebody finally gets it. You don't have to rap in every single K-pop song, because she's not rapping here, she's doing a spoken word section, and she has very good timing and personality and very good line delivery as well. You know, she doesn't have to rap in that part to sound good. She sounds good the way it is right now. Next song, I'll Be Your Spring by Olivia High, member of Luna. Also, for Luna fans out there, apparently she's leaving in 2023, by the end of 2023. So that will give Luna fans something to cry about. Okay, very breezy and sweet instrumentals here, especially the guitar. Sounds super soft. And it goes well with Olivia singing here, which is also super soft and gentle. Okay, this song sounds super chill and I like that, but Olivia's voice is a little bit flat at parts where she's kind of required to go a little bit higher. But that isn't really a huge problem, because I still think this song is super chill, and I definitely wouldn't mind listening to this song on like a chill Sunday morning or something. It has a good vibe to it. Next up is Love in Space by Cherry Bullet. Those are 80s synths. I recognize those anywhere. Those are 80s synths, and that's a very good opening to a song because instantly you get that energy. That verse has way too many words. That is such a bloated verse. There are way too many words in that one line. And even the singers seem like they're trying to play catch up with the words of the song. Okay, that's a little bit repetitive. It seems like they say love one or two times a little bit too much, because that's going to get annoying pretty quickly as well upon repeated listens.
시간을 걸어 형의 무조건 넘어 Because your love is space, space, space Love is space, space 또 다른 날 만날게 또 다른 사람 날래 Because your love is space, space, space Love is space, space So would you be my babe?
Okay, that's a very powerful chorus, really brings you into the world of the song. Next up, Make Me Happy by IUIUIUIUIU, a member of Mamamoo.
길 듯 말 듯한 말 I don't wanna let you down 스쳐
Okay, that is a very jazzy opening. Really like the jazz influence in the pianos here, as well as IUIUIU's singing.
너만이 가면 뭔가 좀 이상해
Okay, this is definitely city pop. You know, the elements of jazz and funk and synth pop all come together to create city pop. And if you don't know city pop, it's basically the genre of plastic love. You know, the very Japanese genre. Yeah, it's basically that. And wow, I just wasn't expecting this genre from this artist.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on You make me happy, make me happy
Okay, first of all, that bass line is super funky, like the bass. The bass sounds good on this thing. And also that whole chorus part, that whole repetition actually works in this song. Like a lot of songs I complain about them being repetitive. But the repetition in this song actually kind of brings you into the world a little bit more. Okay, this is a pretty surprising piece of city pop that I was not expecting. But I think it's super pleasant, it's really nice to listen to, and I just really like city pop when it's very well done, like this one is. So some of my favorites here, let's see. I think IU is definitely my favorite, you probably can tell from my whole fanboying while I was listening to that song. Satellite by Bae Suzy, also a great piece of 90s throwback. And then Make Me Happy by IUIUIUIU. It's a very nice, well-produced piece of city pop. So those are my K-pop reviews.
Come